always being asked about or compared to. Imagine having someone that can sense what you're feeling or can tell how you feel, even from across the country or world. Someone that seems to follow you like a shadow, even when they're not there. A clone copy of you walking around. This is a reality for millions of twins across the world. I feel that you all should be more informed about twins because what you know, or what you may think you know, is actually a very small amount of information. I have personally suffered the tragedies of being one half of a fraternal twin duo, so I have lots of knowledge on this topic. I hope that by the end of my speech, you will know more about twins and hopefully understand what it is like to be one. So, since I'm not a health teacher and I don't plan on becoming one, I'm not going to start my speech by talking about how twins are made and all that stuff, because I'm pretty sure we all know how that goes by now. So I'm going to start off by telling you some interesting facts about twins. As defined by the dictionary, a twin is one of two offspring produced in the same pregnancy. Twins can either be monozygotic or identical, or dizygotic or fraternal. Identical twins tend to look more alike and are always the same gender, whereas fraternal twins can look the same or nothing alike and can be different genders. 1 in 30 babies born in the U.S. is a twin. This rate has increased 76% in the last few decades. Most scientists believe that this happens because of the growing use and popularity of fertility drugs. Also, 1 in 285 babies born is an identical twin. This rate has also increased in the last few decades. When I was researching, I found many surprising things about twins. But perhaps the most surprising thing that I learned was that twins are twice as likely as the rest of the general population to be left-handed. Also, parents of twins are more likely than parents of singletons to get divorced. Luckily, my sister and I have defied these odds. I also found that there are many factors that can increase a woman's chance of having twins. For example, non-Hispanic African-American women have a 15% higher chance of having twins than white women, and Hispanic women have the lowest chance of having twins. So now that you've learned some interesting facts about twins, maybe you realize that they might be a little more interesting than you may have thought. Now I'm going to be talking about something that I think makes twins very special. Some of you may have heard of something called twin telepathy. I'm going to explain to you exactly what this is. Twin telepathy is still a myth, but many twins will tell you it's not. People believe that twins are so close that they can sense what the other is feeling or feel their pain from across the country or world. Experts believe that this happens because the twins are so close together for 9 months. They develop sort of a telepathy in the womb that remains with them throughout their life. I found many examples of this happening during my research, and I'm going to share one of them with you, and that's the story of Gemma and Leanne Houghton. One spring day in 2009, 15-year-old Gemma Houghton was suddenly struck with a terrible feeling that her sister Leanne was in trouble. She raced home to find that her sister was submerged in the bathtub unconscious. She pulled Leanne from the bath, administered CPR, thus saving her sister's life. See, Leanne is an epileptic, and she had suffered a seizure in the bathtub. At first, Gemma thought she was playing a trick, but then she realized that her sister's face was turning blue. Had Gemma not administered the CPR, Leanne most certainly would have drowned. I also found another case of two twins in Texas. One was sitting in a shopping mall when he suddenly felt a stabbing pain in his chest. He later came home to find out that his twin brother had suffered a heart attack at the same moment he had felt the stabbing pain. A woman in New York reported that her 4-year-old twins talked and saw the same imaginary friend throughout their childhood. Overall, twin telepathy is something that I think makes twins very special. Many of you have come up to me or said to me, "Oh, it must be so great to have a twin. I wish I had a twin. Being a twin must be so much fun." Well, you're wrong. It's really not as great as it seems. First of all, having a twin is kind of like having a human shadow. Everywhere you go, you can't fight the questions or the comparisons, especially when you go to the same school and do the same sport. And my sister and I fight over everything: clothes, dance, who's better at what, homework, everything. And there are many negatives to having a twin for me, but there are some small positives. For example, you always have someone to blame, there's someone to borrow clothes from, you always know that you have someone's lunch to eat if you forget yours, and there's someone to warn you about a class or teacher. Also, if your parents ever drag you to one of their boring adult parties, you know there's someone to make it less awkward for you. So now that you've learned more about twins, twin telepathy, and what it's like to be a twin, maybe you're reconsidering your opinion on it. And I hope that you all feel more informed about twins and realize that they're more interesting than you may have thought.